What's up, y'all? This is His Chosen Outreach Ministries. My name is NaQuandra Davis, and Sharonda and I have partnered so that we can have a candid conversation about self-sabotage. Come into the room so you can hear our testimony. We're going to talk about what self-sabotage is and also how you can overcome it so you can begin your road to recovery. Now, let's get into it.
Hello, everybody, and again, welcome to His Chosen Outreach Ministries. This is your road to recovery. My name is Sharonda Davis, and I have a beautiful, lovely, intelligent, super smart individual that's coming on today, and her name is NaQuandra Davis. Yes, we have the same last name because she is my bonus daughter. And anytime you have a bonus, there is something extra and special about that, and she is all that and then some. I'm so grateful that she agreed to join me for self-sabotage. And I'll be the first to say that we have not always had a relationship like we do now. But by the grace of God, He has reconciled us and He has given us a unique and special bond. And I am forever grateful for that. So with no further ado, I will bring her into the session. Hello.
Hi, I'm excited.
I am excited too. Thank you again for agreeing to join me for a discussion on self-sabotage because it is a needed topic. We both can agree and say that yes, we have we have been at fault for bringing pain to our own lives, self-sabotage. So that's our topic on the day. And for those that are listening, we just gonna go ahead. We like you say, we just going in. we
Yeah,
just going in. Our topic, self-sabotage. So for those watching, let's give a definition. NaQuandra, what is self-sabotage?
So I define self-sabotage as just basically bringing destruction upon yourself. You're doing things, indulging in things, got mindsets that are devastating to your own self that's prohibiting you from moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? It's something that occurs more often than people probably can imagine, that they are contributing to their own pain and suffering and not even realizing. So, if we just give a little background history with us, self sabotage, like I said, it has not always been where it is now, but we definitely can agree and testify to the fact that we have, through the grace of God, we have matured and just grateful for where He had us now. So, for those who, that don't know us, give a little history.
Yes, so like from as long as I can remember, Sharonda has been like public enemy number one. That's just how it was, and that's what was poured into me. That's what I was, and that's where my emotions, my feelings, all that against her. And so didn't really have a relationship with her. My thought was that this is just this woman that my daddy's with, and she the reason that me and my daddy can't have a relationship. She the reason that he don't never come and pick us up when he say he gonna come pick us up. Like, it was just a bunch of anger and just, honestly, at the end of the day, misunderstanding at this point. But
Yeah.
that's what really fueled our relationship. And up in 2011, our last contact or conversation in 2011 was me in the 11th grade cussing her, a grown woman, out on Facebook. On
She
Facebook.
did. Look, the message is still in there. And like it's still, because like that, I left it in there. I don't go back and read it, but it's still in there. But again, for those who are watching and don't know, Laquandra's dad and I were high school sweethearts. I met him when I was 15 years old. He was 16. My first date was with him, and we were like on again, off again. And during the time that one of the times we were off again, Laquandra's mom got pregnant with a boy, and then we got back together and we broke up again, and then NaQuandra came. And so and he and I, her dad, we got back together and actually got married, and NaQuandra was only 5 months old. I mean, you were a baby. You were 5 months old. Your dad and I were 22 years old, young and just foolish and everything, but so much in love, and that's why, like you say, I was public enemy number one. I'll take that title. That's at the time. That's what it was. I mean, again, like I say, young and foolish. I was very hot headed, hot tempered, just running off at the mouth and not getting along with your mom and everything. But I mean, I did it out of ignorance, didn't realize it was like in my head, it was like, oh, well, this is my husband or this is my boyfriend, and can't tell me nothing. And nobody couldn't tell me anything. So that is one of the things that will cause self-sabotage, is just having a negative and nasty attitude and everything. And I was definitely, yeah, I contributed to that. Yeah. I had an attitude. It was just jacked up. It was jacked all the way. It was jacked all the way up.
I could definitely relate to the attitude problem because I was living in 11th grade, texting, messaging Sharonda on Facebook, going in like you this you. I it was bad, and I wouldn't even want to read it today because I'm just like, who does that? That's
But you remember
embarrassing.
what I said? I wasn't even nasty with you. Like because I
No,
understand. I understand even back then the pain that you had endured over the years and everything. And I knew that you were speaking out of anger. And I remember telling you, like I said, and it was because you were on Facebook cussing your dad out. And I inboxed you. I was like, "Hey, look, can you not talk about your dad like that?" And you went in on me. But I wasn't, being nasty, especially place where I was mentioning, but you didn't know that because it was just, messaging. It wasn't like a phone call, so we could, had hear or know how my tone and everything. But because in your mind, I'm public enemy number one, so you probably thought I was coming in on you, chewing out and everything, and I wasn't. But I remember what I responded to you and said to you. I said, "You have to blame somebody. Why not me?" I remember saying that. I could go back and I like literally pull up. I remember saying that to you because I
yeah,
knew that you had been poisoned, and I knew that you were still in your feelings, and
very
you
much.
wanted to blame somebody, and so I was that target that you shot your anger at. So I understood. Feelings wasn't even hurt even back then.
Yeah, very much fueled by fire at that point in life, but I had to change my mindset.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I knew it was going to take time. I just didn't know it was going to take so long. But patience grew for us cuz it was like she got to learn. Like
Yeah,
she got
because that was 10 years ago. That was 10 whole years ago, and now look at the Lord. But
Yeah.
we started reconnecting about 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and so glory be unto God.
Yes, I am so excited. Like he really did that. And like I was asking you, I was like, so what made you, because you reached out to me and it was like, and I was very surprised, very touched, very humble. And it's like, oh my gosh, what happened? I knew it was a God thing. I knew it wasn't like, oh, she just, I knew God had to have moved on your heart for you to reach out to me. I was like, and I even can recall you was like, I'm watching you. That was something that you kind of said, like I'm, seeing your Facebook. So you saw the change, the God change in me because
Yes, absolutely. It's good
it,
though, because
yeah. It's real good because it helped you get some answers, some unresolved answers or solution, to problems or things feelings that you were dealing with and everything. So yeah,
yes, be and some answers that were unbiased. Like this is why we got to be in connection with people who are truly after God's heart, because the conviction of the Holy Spirit is not a joke. And
no,
so I can ask Sharonda and her, and it be an unbiased, solid response. I don't have to question her intentions or her inputting her feelings into stuff. It's solid. That's why we gotta be in connection and we gotta reach out. But when I did reach out to you, It was when I was getting my life together. I realized, hey, this is not about me. And so I started going back to church, reading the Bible, and actually applying the word to my life. And so wanted to get some answers. I was able to change my perception about me, understand why I acted the way I did. And so now I needed to start digging into my family and the people around me to see what was the cause of their trauma. Why did they treat me this way? What
Yeah.
happened to get them that way towards me?
Yeah.
And so that's why I reached out, and the Lord did His thing.
He did. And you know what? When God is in it, man, it's got to be good. Like it may be painful, a little bit uncomfortable, because I'm sure it was. I mean, because you 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 didn't really know me. I mean, you knew of me, but everything that you heard, everything, it was always negative. It was never anything good. But you saw the true character yourself, and so and it had to come. God had to reveal it. Like it wasn't like I'll put on a show and everything. No, God did that. So I am truly grateful. And for anybody that's listening, you have a relationship that's not going well, in the family or whatever. You need to get some answers. Like, you start asking those hard questions.
Right.
And will you be uncomfortable? I'm sure, because I'm sure you didn't know if I was going to reject you when you reached out to me, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
here we are today.
Right. And it's been a blessing, really. Like, the Lord is good.
Yeah, he is very good. So, again, for those that are listening, we're talking about self-sabotage. So how did it affect your life? I guess like unresolved issues that led down the road to you being the cause of self-sabotage for yourself.
Well, just I'm about to tell a lot of my business, but just holding
I am
on,
too. You're not the only one.
just holding on to the past. So with that, me growing up without a father, I didn't have nobody to pour into me, not just about how a woman should be treated and what you should and should not expect from a man, but from a woman's standpoint either. My influences was the world, my friends, the music I listened to, the things that I seen on, I guess, what was I on MySpace back then, and in
I was
magazines.
on it.
Those those are the things that influenced me, and so I was led by that, but still holding on to the trauma of my childhood. And so I'm out in the world seeking for love. And to find that, I start sleeping around with this boy and this girl and start doing drugs and drinking to fill in the void so that I can feel good. And so that caused me a lot of mess.
Yes.
Tickets, near death accidents. We talked about financial responsibilities. I was very frivolous. I was
Yes.
one. I got
Living beyond your means.
that part. That part,
That's
and that
self
was my
sabotage.
lifestyle.
Living beyond your means is self sabotage.
Yeah, and that was my lifestyle. Like, when I went to the club, I was like, girl, I'm not going to the club unless I got two beers in my hand. Period. I'm not going. And I was doing all those things. I'm not talking about those things to highlight them, but I'm talking about them to show you what I was doing
Yeah.
to I guess to satisfy those voids, that love, the nurturing that I was seeking in my childhood. Now I'm into my adulthood trying to go find that in the world, and it just didn't work that way. I was destructing my own destiny.
Yeah. That's self sabotage. That's what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And like I say, whenever you don't know who you are, or you're kind of lost with life and everything, and then you have all these unresolved issues, that can lead you on put you on a road of self-destruction, self-sabotage for people. Because you're not the only one. I mean, I grew up in a two-parent home. My dad died when I was 12, but still without childhood abuse and be rejected, picked on, and everything. It like you, it put me on a rough path where I was uh, doing destructive things myself, and like you say, nasty attitude, and quick to go off, and putting these words together that shouldn't be together, and cussing people out. So you gave back what I did when I was what you did to me. I did when I was young or a teenager. Cussing and acting crazy and just all stupid and just not knowing. Didn't care about people's feelings, just doing whatever to please me, and it wasn't pleasing. Like you hurting somebody's feelings or you doing something to yourself. You know, and then like say out sleeping around that for a moment you think that that's the fix, and it's not.
Oh, it's not.
No.
You're just chasing your tail at that point. Because who's fulfilling you? The word cannot fulfill you.
No, and sin can't. Like, running and just, without limits and doing everything. All you doing is you wake up and you gotta wonder, oh, did they give me something? Or do you wake up with an unwanted pregnancy and everything, which led to an abortion one time. And it's like, that's something you gotta live with. So self-sabotage is real. Like we don't realize how much our actions play a part, or the consequences. Like we can do what we want to do, but we can't always pick the consequences. We don't get to pick the consequences. Not always. We don't get to pick the consequences.
Right.
So yeah.
And then this conversation is just breaking ground anyway, because I was talking to one of my classmates about how different cultures and different children, we got to be mindful when we're teaching so that we don't break those bounds. But there's a culture or mindset in certain populations of don't tell nobody about business. So us sitting on here even sharing any of this is breaking ground and holding in those secrets. That self-sabotage.
It is.
This is a testimony. This testimony is going to help somebody else. And not only is it going to help somebody else, it's going to help you address the things that you are trying to overcome.
Yes. You just said something. Secrets, they hurt. They hurt like hell. Like literally, anybody listen, I'm telling you. And not that everybody's going to be open and transparent, or get on social media and be this bold and everything. But we're anointed to do it.
Yes.
Because like, look at us. I mean, like, we're not sitting on here just boohooing and just like it's just draining us. No, this is freeing us. Mm-hmm. And for anybody that's listening, I mean, the word of God tells us that we're overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So, as we open up and be humble, open, and transparent, somebody is going to be set free. Like, sis, yeah, bro, yes, you too can be set free. Like, you don't have to stay on that destructive path where you're going through self-sabotage just month after month, week after week, or year after year, and just you're not going anywhere. No, we're going somewhere.
Yes. And when the Lord told us, when He made us, He gave us free will. You have an option.
Yeah, I like that. You have an option. You do not have to self-destruct. Mm-hmm. For whoever's listening, no matter what your background, no matter where you grew up or what area or whatever your dysfunction is in your family and everything, you could be the one to change things. Yeah, you could be who else? You could be that one.
Yes.
That one. That's what I told you. Yes. As we started a couple times as we talked, I said, you're the one. You're the one. You're the one you're the generational curse breaker. God is using you. You're the vessel. You're the chosen one. Mm-hmm. Like, you're the chosen one. And it's like, how for somebody that's listening, well, how do you know? Because you see the need for change. You see the need for change. Like, you realize, like, your eyes are wide open, like God give you revelation, and you see that something about this ain't right. Like, something about what I was told or what I was brought up in just don't sit well in my spirit. And that's God speaking. That's the Holy Spirit giving conviction and letting you know, hey, no, that's not right.
Right. Like, how many times I done called you or text you like, nah, I done seen something. And this don't look right.
Well, I heard something. Yeah.
Yes.
I heard something. And that's just God giving you revelation of truth. And
Yes.
everybody can't handle the truth.
Right.
Like some people love staying in a lie because they love the person that's telling the lie.
Oh, Jesus. That's good.
I love my mama, or I love my sibling, or I love my grandma, and you're being held hostage to a lie because you love that person so deep.
Yes.
But just because you love them don't mean that they're right. Like I said,
Right.
I've seen things within my family, and and I respect and love my parents and everything. But some of the things we were taught, they taught us a lot of good things, but some of the things we were taught were not right in
Yes.
any kind of way.
Yes. Yes. On one of my episodes, I talk about who you living for. And I said, if you choose to live for your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, you made the wrong decision because they're not the ones that's going to carry you through.
Yeah,
No, no, no. And then we talked about the traditions of your family. You can't break the traditions, or you can't break the curses while you keeping those traditions up. If you see something you don't like, you got to turn from it. I
yeah.
know everybody's doing it. Like when I go home and we having celebrations and everybody drinking and smoking and doing yada yada, I'm in the background on the computer somewhere. I'm not doing that.
You don't have to do what the crowd is doing. Even when
Yes.
you love the crowd, you don't have to
Right.
do what the crowd is doing, especially when it's wrong. But because if you do, then you're gonna be dealing with self sabotage. Like you're destroying, you're hurting yourself. You may be
Hmm.
joining the crowd. It may seem good at the moment, but sis, bro, what are you doing to yourself?
Right.
What are you
Hmm.
doing to yourself? Especially when God brings you out and the Holy Spirit reveals to you that it's wrong. Why continue doing it when you know that it's wrong?
Right. And if you're listening and you're thinking about stepping into that, turning from your sin, ask God to prepare your heart for that. Because it's not gonna feel good, but it's well worth it.
It is. It is well worth it. And you will feel the release. Like you will feel so much better whenever you come to the realization, like, oh, I played a part. Oh, let me repent. I was wrong. I was the one that was wrong. So it's just yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, because we don't want to stay there. And one of the things that self sabotage does for us, it keeps us when we in our feelings. Can we talk about that for just when you in your feelings? Like
Yes.
when you were in your feelings, what did you? I guess like what did you find yourself doing? Or let's talk about that.
When I'm in my feelings, I tend to overeat, gluttony, struggle with gluttony, slumber. And that's just when I don't feel like it. I just want to sit down and watch TV. So I'm gonna go get this ice cream, sit on the couch, watch TV. Now I'm up and I'm feeling bad because I done ate too much food and I can't get done what I said I was gonna get done. Or somebody hurt my feelings, and I hold that against them, and now I'm living in unforgiveness
Yeah,
because I could have forgiven them because they said something hurt my feelings. No, I didn't address them. I didn't ask them, but what did you mean by that? Or hey, that really hurt my feelings. Oh, I'm just going to be ugly and nasty to them because they hurt my feelings.
yeah,
Now I'm being hateful, living in unforgiveness. Those are the things that I used to do.
that part. And two wrongs don't make a right. Just because
Right.
somebody hurt our feelings, like I said, that does not make it right. Like we don't get God don't give us a pass and say, oh, well, they did you wrong, then you got to do them wrong. Again, when I go back and think about 10 years ago when you sent the message, like I say, I knew you were in your feelings. Like I knew you were hurt. I knew you were sensitive and naive to the truth. That's all. Like if you got to blame somebody, blame me. And I think that's kind of how the message ended off. Was I say, if you got to blame somebody, hey, blame me. Why not me? So, gosh, it is something for anybody that's just tuning in and don't realize, like, we ain't always be here.
Right.
And until we get off the path of self-sabotage, like we'll keep making bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Self-sabotage is just one, it's like a snowball effect. You do one thing and then another thing and then another thing that leads to another thing that leads to another thing.
Yes, you're just opening doors.
Ooh,
You just opening doors. You go in one short hallway, open that door. The next hallway a little bit longer. Open that door, and you're just gonna keep walking into destruction.
gosh, that's good. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing. I remember when we talked a couple days ago that we said, I was trying to look for it in my notes, that you got to be careful what doors you open.
Yes. Them doors, something serious. Them doors, something serious.
Very serious. You
And
gotta.
then we open the door and we want to blame the devil. It's not his fault. You opened the door.
Yeah, it's not his fault that you took how many glasses of how many bottles or glasses of wine. It's not their fault. That's what you want to do. Right. And then you the one got on the road and got the DWI. And then that's self-sabotage. When you're not, it's not other people doing it, it's you doing it to yourself. And then when it comes back to bite you, it really hurts. And like I say, for me, being young and foolish. I'm talking about myself. Let me talk about me for just a minute. Being young and foolish, just remember doing things and going to court for just stupid stuff and everything. And then when it came time to go look for a job, you got to go and you fill out your application. They want to know, have you ever been charged with anything besides a misdemeanor speed ticket? Mm-hmm. I hate having to put yes down. Back then, whenever. Yeah. Looking for a job, and it's like it ain't nobody's fault but mine. I'm the one who went out there and cut them tires.
Right.
I'm the one who broke their window.
Glory.
I'm the one who did that. It ain't nobody's fault. That was me. Self-sabotage. That was it. Yes. I'll be the first to tell you. I'm the one. I can't blame it. But it was, doing stuff because of unforgiveness and the rage and just all kinds of stuff just bottled up inside will lead you to go out and just do stupid stuff, like and not even think about the consequences that you're gonna have to face one day. So thank you for tuning in on today. We greatly appreciate having each and every one of you join our broadcast on today. One of the hardest things it is for us to look in the mirror and to see ourselves. We tend, as a society, like to put everything off on everybody else. Blame mama, blame daddy, blame our friends, blame our family, blame our enemies. But it takes a mature person to look in a mirror and to realize that I play fault in some of the pain that I have endured. Like, my actions were my fault. I can't put them off on everybody else. But a broken person will do that. That was our case. Like, we went through so many years of unnecessary pain because we were broken. But by the grace of God, I am so thankful that we are on the road to recovery and we're healing. Like, those wounds, they are mending, and God is doing tremendous work, not only in myself, but my bonus daughter as well. And he can do the same thing for you. What he did for us, it is not just for us, it is for each and every person that is willing to receive God's grace, God's mercy, and admit to the things that we have done, and that will put us on the road to recovery. So tune in next week for part 2 as we continue self-sabotage. I hope each and every one of you will have a blessed, a wonderful filled week and prosperous week. So thank you again. This is His Chosen Outreach Ministries. My name is Sharonda Davis. This is your road to recovery. I love each and every one of you. Thank you and be blessed.